wasn't even a real song, some said. No catchy chorus, no flashy MV, no choreo challenge, just a 1-minute intro. And yet, it just hit 100 million streams on Spotify. You might be wondering, how is that even possible? Let me tell you a story. A story about silence, vulnerability, and a man who doesn't need to shout to be heard. This is the story of Jimin, and the song is called Reverse Intro. When Jimin dropped his second solo album, MUSE, fans were emotional for many reasons. It was his first release after enlisting. He wasn't here to promote it, no performances, no interviews, just the music. And among the powerful genre-blending tracks on MUSE, there was Reverse Intro. A track so simple, so raw, so short that some listeners skipped it on first play. But others felt it immediately. The whispers, the breath, the sound of strings unraveling slowly, like pages of a diary being turned. No beat drop, no climax, just a quiet invitation to step into his world. And now, that track has crossed 100 million streams on Spotify. That makes it Jimin's 17th solo song to reach the 100 million milestone. 17. 17 songs where he poured his heart, his pain, his growth, his questions, his healing into melodies that reach far beyond language. Let's break this down. From his debut solo album Face, tracks like Set Me Free Pitu, a chaotic storm of liberation, Like Crazy, a dreamlike descent into longing. And then came the unforgettable collabs, Vibe with Taeyang, smooth, addictive chemistry. With You from Our Blues, a tear-jerking OST, the Fast and Furious tracks Angel Put 1 and Pete 2, raw cinematic power. Then there are the tracks that need no promotion. Promise, Who, Closer Than This, Slow Dance with Sophia Carson, and Be Mine, and Smeraldo Garden Marching Band with Loco. That one felt like Jimin painting springtime on a rainy day. Now, with Reverse Intro joining this powerful lineup, he ties the record for most solo songs with over 100 million streams by a K-pop artist. But that's just part of the bigger picture. Let me show you just how deep this goes. Jimin's solo profile on Spotify now shows over 7 billion total streams. And guess what? 22 of those tracks, yes, 22, are full solo songs. No features, no duets, just him. And together, those solo songs alone make up 57 billion streams. Let that number settle in your heart. That's not just statistics, that's 57 billion moments where people around the world chose him, chose his voice, his message, his vulnerability. And here's the part that gave me goosebumps. His album MUSE, released without fanfare while he was away serving his country, is the first and only K-pop album released in 2024 to surpass 3 billion streams. That's more than any group, any artist, any hype, just music speaking for itself. His debut album Face, it's crossed 25 billion. This makes Jimin the only Korean solo artist in history with 2 albums surpassing 25 billion streams on Spotify. And all of this while he's silent. He's not online, he's not tweeting, he's not performing. He's serving in the military, quietly, humbly. But his music? It's still shouting to the world. Reverso was never supposed to be the hit. It was the intro, a mood setter, an opening door. But that's exactly why this moment is so powerful. Because sometimes the most unassuming things hold the greatest weight, and sometimes the softest voice echoes the loudest. Jimin doesn't follow the industry. He doesn't chase algorithms or trends. He creates art that's personal, intimate, timeless, and the world is listening, even to a whisper. So now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Jimin song? Which track helped you through something? And how did you feel when you first heard Reverse Intro? Let's celebrate this moment together. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this story moved you, give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive moments like this one. Because with Jimin, even silence becomes a symphony.